Bill O'Reilly is headed to meet with President Trump in Washington, D.C., and share a warning about the Phase 2 Democrat plan to kneecap President Trump's presidency and take back the Senate and the House. I want you guys to know about this plan because I think what Bill O'Reilly shares today is absolutely true.
And 2026 is the last chance to get Donald Trump. The far left, the Trump haters, the Democratic Party, their media allies. Last chance to get him. And it's going to come down this way. Every week there will be a new controversy. We've seen a preview of it this fall. Epstein, and now the gunboats, blowing up the drug boats. And next week it'll be something else. I don't know whether they'll take a Christmas break or not. But then every week in 2026, a new controversy to try to wear down President Trump in the court of public opinion. That's what will happen. Now, I don't know if the Trump administration knows this. I suspect they do, but I don't know for sure. But they need to put together a rapid response team to anticipate that this is going to be an ongoing campaign. Because if the Republicans lose the House or the Senate or both, then Donald Trump becomes a lame duck president. He loses an enormous amount of power in the last 2 years. If the Republicans hold, Trump actually increases his power. And believe me, that is not going to be good news for the progressive left and the Trump enemies and the media.
All right. I think he's absolutely right. They are going to start putting a pressure campaign where they are releasing fabricated stories, coordinated hits every single week. This is the last chance to get Donald Trump. They can either weaken him and make him a lame duck president, likely impeaching him and forcing him out, or he becomes stronger than ever and can make America great again the way we all wanted, which is why we voted for him. Now, on immigration, President Trump is pushing for tougher policy, including the possibility of revoking citizenship. Trump said he would absolutely strip U.S. citizenship from naturalized immigrants if they commit serious crimes. He says, I don't know if I have the authority, but I would do it. President Trump responded with an indefinite pause on asylum processing and visa approval for Afghans and 19 other crime-ridden countries. He invited the fallen guardsman's family to the White House to honor them, saying the U.S. must expel criminals that came into our country. He also clarified that reverse migration means deporting people already in the U.S., while he admitted he's unsure if he has the legal authority to revoke citizenship. He said he will act if allowed, framing it as necessary for national security. So just because you're in the country doesn't mean you get to stay in the country. If you're a criminal or we find out about a criminal past, he says, I have the right to take you out, and he's going to have to check that with the Supreme Court. Now, Democrats, of course, said that President Trump has gone too far, blocking people from third world countries. This is America. Everybody should be allowed to come here. But what we're finding is that millions were coming annually with fake asylum stories. Tens of millions were coming that have no money, that they have medical issues. They are literally coming here to live off of the American taxpayer. But listen to what Senator Eric Schmidt of Missouri had to say about taking things up a level when it comes to supporting President Trump.
Yeah, I mean, this is what suicidal empathy really looks like. This is not an abstraction. This is a case now, two cases, where this open borders policy, no vetting under the auspices of humanitarian parole, which is what Joe Biden did to let tens of thousands of Afghans in here without any vetting, right? And those are supposed to be individualized reviews. That's what that parole process under current law is. But they didn't care about any of that, Harris. They opened the border up wide open. 20 million people are here illegally. from just 4 years of Joe Biden, including more people like this guy. So I think the Democrats, they don't know how to talk about this because they actually believe in open borders. And so they'll try to push the blame off. They sound ridiculous. One of the, I think, senators you had in there actually was the guy that went down to El Salvador.
All right. America is trapped in suicidal empathy, and the Democrats, they're the worst because not only do they have more empathy for the person that commits crime than they do the victim, they need the votes. And so it's time right now to clean up America and make America safe again. Now, I want to show you something that might be controversial. Alex Jones interviewed Nick Fuentes. For those that don't know, Nick Fuentes is one of the most hated people in America. I don't know that he's a bad guy, but I don't agree with everything that he says. But the left and the right did a full court cancel culture pressure campaign to get him off the internet, to get him off of YouTube, to get him off of X. Now, he says Trump has the opportunity to do something that is country changing, a complete game changer. And he says this is what most of MAGA voted for. They want the old 2016 Donald Trump back. Let me show you this, and then I want you to tell me in the comments, does he go too far or is he right? This is exactly what we all voted for.
They come here from a horrible country. They don't contribute, and then they're not even grateful. There's no gratitude. There's no reverence. There's no appreciation. And he's right. Ilhan Omar, that other one that just ran for mayor, they're not loyal to America. They don't even like America. And he's right. All they do is whine and complain. I love that he says all they do is bitch. It's true. That's all they do. And we don't want him here. Does anybody think America's made better by a bunch of Somalian immigrants? We don't want him here. It's just not a good idea. Don't need him.
And it's so healthy to start differentiating and bring back common sense. That was so revolutionary. Wow.
It is, but now we need to see something done about it. They need to go into Minneapolis and liberate the city because otherwise it's all talk. Okay, it's a great statement. You know, that's what everybody wanted to say. It's very cathartic. It's like, you know, I feel good when I hear that. But if in 3 years, Minneapolis is still Somalian, I'm going to say WTF. What happened then?
By the way,
so
you know both the cops they hired that were Somali non-citizens killed people and lost their jobs within a few months?
Really?
I'm sorry about Somalis, folks. Let me just be honest. They literally admit it is a culture of slavery and piracy.
Well, and it's them. It's the Haitians. It's like, hey, remember the Haitians in Springfield? We don't want these people. Like, these are probably the two worst countries on earth, Haiti and Somalia. They don't have a functioning government. Somalia does not and has not had a legitimate central government in decades, and neither does Haiti. And yet we're bringing these people into the Midwest. Why? Why are we bringing them to Ohio and Minnesota? Well, they're bringing them in because they have a functional welfare state. They're bringing them in because you have good health care in Ohio and Minnesota, bringing them in because you have a generous welfare state. And we're waiting for the president, the actual President Trump, that is going to take them and remove them from the country completely. But, I'm not confident that that's going to happen. I'm waiting for the day when they send in ICE by the tens or hundreds of thousands, and they literally just take them all out. And one day you wake up and Minneapolis is no longer under Somalian occupation. I don't think that's going to happen, but it needs to. And so that's where I hear a statement like that, and you go, okay, so clearly you still have it in you. You know what we want to hear. You know what we want you to do. The 2016 Trump never left. You just need to flip a switch. But now you need to deliver. And so if you can deliver all these other things, deliver this, do what you need to do, but make it happen, because if you remove these people, they're not coming back. If you take these people out of the country, you can violate every federal judge injunction, every Supreme Court ruling, whatever. If you just take these people and physically remove them, they're not coming back. Just do it and pardon yourself. Do it and pardon your people. But we just have to start getting them out.
And by the way, you're putting them into a wonderland. They all say how great Somalia is. You're doing them a favor.
Yeah, they're so proud, right? I mean, they're so proud of their culture and their heritage, and they're so much better than us. So let's just do them a favor. We'll get them a nice military cargo plane ride right back, and then we're going to slam the door shut so they're never tempted to return. I just want to see it happen. And it's frustrating that, when you hear that, you realize it's like it's very pleasing to hear, but you also realize, oh, so Trump knows exactly what to say and exactly what to do. He's just not doing it every other day and 90% of the other times when it's not happening. So that's where it's sort of bittersweet.
No, I agree,
Yes.
but I'm starting to see a pivot, though. I think he's starting to swing back because he knows his poll numbers are in the toilet.
Well, I'm not going to say that until he delivers. I think this is what he does, which is he says these things and people go, oh, here we go. We're going to get that old Trump back. And it buys him another 6 months. And it's 6 months of letdown, 6 months of disappointment. I hope you're right. I hope he pivots and turns it around.
Well, they are having giant raids in Minneapolis right now.
Are they? How many people are being removed? I don't think
it's
they're
thousands.
talking about doing that.
No, it started. It just started. But here's the thing. Biden all gave him amnesty. Trump's revoking it.
Well, he's revoking their protected status so they could be deported, but we actually have to put them on the planes and get them out. But we're just not seeing those numbers. It's 300,000.
But in fairness, the judges have been blocking it. I mean, they have ramped up enforcement.
Yeah, I mean they're training more people, they're hiring more people, but the numbers are still so low. The average is like 1,000 per day. That's nothing. I mean, you need 10,000 a day. Realistically, to get even the 10 million under Biden. That's just to get us neutral. And then people want to say, what about self-deportations? What about them? We need to literally have massive operations and get these people out. And they say, well, they're obstructing. Okay, like throw all those people in jail too. Wouldn't it be paradise if we woke up in 4 years and we were 10 million less immigrants and all these like left-wing agitators, all these horrible leftists were in prison for attacking ICE and throwing planters in front of their trucks? Like, let's
I agree, but that's the Soros judges that are letting him out.
They should just disobey that. They don't have to listen to that. They should just disobey that. The Supreme Court intervened and said, you can't do these nationwide injunctions on every little thing. You got to go full Andrew Jackson and just disobey it. I mean, we're at a critical stage. We're in a crisis. It's time for the government to lay down the law. Time for the executive to execute.
No, I agree.
All right. So please let me know in the comments, what do you think? Should President Trump go full bore? Should President Trump go full blown, get him out of here, more than any president that we've ever had? I mean, he hasn't even scratched the surface on what Barack Obama did. He hasn't even scratched the surface on what Bill Clinton did. Meanwhile, we find out that we're having billions and billions of dollars stolen from us by people that come here. They don't even get jobs. They literally just milk the welfare system. And this guy, he's one of the most hated people in America because he says stuff like that. He says stuff like Trump needs to deliver on his promise and get these people out of our country. But let me know what you think. Is this a bridge too far? Or is Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones right that it is time to take it to the next level? Let me know, please. And now I want to go through even more fraud that's being discovered under the governorship of Tim Walz. Are you ready to feel great every day? I love kimchi and I take it daily. Since starting, my energy is up, my gut feels healthier, I feel genuinely happy. It's amazing what a balanced microbiome can do. My gut got wrecked after COVID and my brain was foggy. I can tell such a difference after improving my gut health. Kimchi One is packed with 900 strains of beneficial bacteria, more than most probiotics, proven in scientific studies to support overall gut health. According to PubMed, a healthy gut is crucial for your immune system, digestion, mood, and even energy levels. Let me share some of the top reasons I trust Kimchi One. Enhanced digestion, increased energy, immune system support, better nutrient absorption, happier mood, and healthy weight management. Want to experience the same? Follow the link below for 25% off Kimchi One or snap the QR code. Or call my friends at Brightcore right now to get up to 50% off with free shipping. That's right. Call 888-908-4425 for up to 50% off plus free shipping. Your gut and body will thank you. Meanwhile, at the state level, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is under heavy fire over a massive fraud scandal. The three biggest frauds in American history all happened in Minnesota. They all happened under Tim Walz. Now we're learning from insiders that he knew about this in order to get votes. I'm going to go through all this. 480 Democrat government officials are now accusing Tim Walz of allowing Somalians to steal billions of dollars from taxpayers in order to get elected. In a post on X, the workers said they warned Tim Walz early about the widespread fraud. And what happened? They were punished for pointing it out. They claimed they were monitored, threatened, reassigned, or had to be dismissed from their post. Critics such as Tom Emmer, Congressman Tom Emmer, has labeled Minnesota the land of 10,000 frauds, where it used to be the land of 10,000 lakes. Tim Walz defended himself by saying, I've arrested a couple of people, and I'm on top of this. This scandal has nothing to do with me. This is Trump's fault. How is this Donald Trump's fault? Every time something goes wrong for the Democrats, it's immediately Donald J. Trump's fault. These losers literally have nothing to run on. Now, the Department of Homeland Security has called for a federal investigation, saying safeguards have collapsed. Whistleblowers are being threatened versus listened to. Tim Walz is seeking a third term because the state of Minnesota doesn't have term limits on how long a governor can stay in power. Now, think about this. Why else would he want to stay in power now that his cover's been blown as somebody that allowed fraud in order to get votes and allowed stolen taxpayer money to go to terrorist organizations? There's only one reason. It's the only reason Nancy Pelosi is still in. She has to remain in office to cover up her insider trading. And Tim Walz has to remain the governor in order to cover his sins. He's got to be removed. This is really, really bad stuff. And I hope that he will absolutely be taken out. All right. Now, in Latin America, tensions with Venezuela continue to rise as President Trump says Nicolas Maduro must be removed. Maduro resurfaced after many believed that he had left. He is saying that he has now written a letter to OPEC saying that OPEC needs to intervene because the United States has gone crazy, that Donald Trump has gone crazy, that he has dozens of warship and 15,000 American soldiers on his border. And for what? Nothing. I didn't rig my election. I'm not flooding America and Europe with cocaine and other drugs. So now he's saying, OPEC, you need to get involved. You need to save Venezuela from the crazy behavior of Donald J. Trump. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'll be on later with more great news. I think President Trump is doing a great job. I want him to do more. I worry he's being sabotaged by the CIA and by rhinos that would love to see Republicans lose the Senate and Republicans lose the House. Why? So that Democrats can take the fall for impeaching him, and then they will make him a lame duck president, or he will be removed. We can't let it happen, like Bill O'Reilly said. All right, I love you guys. Stay amazing, and I will see you on the next video.